Okay, friends and subscribers, I'm returning to a previous video. This is not the exact same video, but it is a similar video of the same person. I noticed there were subtle changes around him when I went to revisit this video in particular, because this one shows me how to use my new thermocopier. And I noticed that his face started to change halfway through the vid, but it wasn't so much his face starting to change that interested me, it was the face that was forming beside him, which is that more of a reptilian. As his face changes and the hologram starts to affect his general appearance and everything, you notice around the rest of the video, everything else seems to be okay. There's no pixelation to it except for the standard pixelation that was in it prior. Now here's the demonic face starting to form beside him or behind him, and you'll notice more and more it turns more into a reptilian slight of face. You can see that it's affecting his hands, and there is motion blur that you see here and everything with the camera. Please ignore that when he's moving his arms. But in a general appearance just around him, this is affecting him. Now, as you can see, the demonic face has almost fully formed. You can see a nose. It looks to be that of a reptile. The mouth is clearly evident. I would say that more even of a dragon shape there. You can clearly see the eyes forming just behind his head, and what looks to be a dragon head behind his face. And there is definite, yeah, as I said, there is motion blur there, so please just ignore the motion blur, but look at what's forming behind him. And the dragon appears to be talking as at the same time he's talking. I do not believe this is a fault of the camera. After the last video and all the reptilian videos that I have seen with this happening, again, I don't know why, but this has been the best example, I suppose, because this was not a professionally shot video by the media where they've had time to cut out the thing. But notice how all of a sudden it just dropped back out and just vanished, and all of a sudden his hologram is gone. His hologram has come back to the normal shape. And the more and more I study these reptilian videos, the more and more I'm convinced that there is something going on out there in the world. Like, I'm a businessman. Like, over the last 20 years, I've found it harder and harder to get a business started because there's so many obstacles, and if you offer a service and everything, and this is what I like, since I've heard this reptilian case where these guys are actually maybe taking over, but I don't know. It does scare the shit out of me in a way, the fact that here it is, these reptilian creatures are forming behind this chap and are clearly visible to only be affecting him, not the surrounding area. So if you notice the car, the whole time, that car and everything moving in that car's reflection, there's not an ounce of problem with it. Yet when it comes to him, there is, and everything seems to be connected to him. And this creature that appears in the other video, you can clearly see forming, that had back legs, everything. Well, because we can't see the leg section of this creature at the moment, but we can see the head more evident. Now, the head of it is more evident of that of a dragon, and you can see a frontal phase of it, and yet you'll clearly see it's as if he's smiling, but here comes the transformation into the dragon shape, and it goes clearly more evident into that dragon shape, as if there is a second soul to this character, and that is that of a dragon, and there's the dragon clearly appearing, and I gather his control over this poor chap, and I believe there is control. Now that slight bit there is motion blur on the side of him, or it could be this creature's hologram attached to him. When I look at it, actually, I just noticed there was that white streak attached to him, but which is it's attached to his other arm as well. So okay, that's quite interesting. But the thing is that I thought it was motion blur, but there we go. It's sort of, the dragon head is clearly obvious. The hologram around the gentleman is no longer there. It's as if it's a projection pasted forward. I've had plenty of people say that we've all got this behind us, but the thing is, it sort of it just vanishes when it realises I'd say it's realised that it's visible, but clearly there's something to this, folks. All I can say is I found another one for you, so I've put it out there, and if I find another one,